Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Bold and beautiful. We figured out who Sheila's sneaking off to meet. Sometimes a line of dialogue is just a line of dialogue, but when the words uttered cause your ears to perk up and your finger to hit the rewind button, wait, did they really just say that? It's worth paying attention, especially when it's bold and beautiful Sheila who is doing the talking, and she's trying very, very hard to act as if nothing's going on. Trust us, something is definitely going on. The line in question was uttered by the scheme queen in response to Deacon asking where she'd run off to. I just needed to see someone, she responded, trying to sound casual but her voice indicating there was definitely more to the story. When Deacon asked who, she replied, just someone from my past, no one important really. She might just as well have said, nothing to see here, keep moving. But that's not in our nature, so we began wondering exactly who she might have been referring to. And while there are several suspects, one name jumps almost immediately to the top of the list. Sheila's longtime partner in crime, usually literally Mike Guthrie. Ken Haynes has played the part on and off since 1993, which means he's had the kind of sidekick, run not seen since Robin started hanging out with Batman. Most recently, he helped get Sheila out of prison by insisting she hadn't escaped, he'd kidnapped her. Given that he's been kinda sorta besotted by the beguiling troublemaker for decades, it wasn't hard for people who didn't know better to believe. With the walls closing in on Sheila, she's likely to need an assist in spinning her next wicked web. Deacon's putting their relationship on hold, Hope's trash-talking her at every turn, and by week's end, Sheila will be having a literal physical altercation with daughter-in-law Steffi. What's a girl to do, if not turn to the one man who would do anything for her? Now to be fair, Mike's not the only game in town, nor is he the only person she might have been sneaking off to visit. Although rarely mentioned, Sheila does have kids other than Finn out there. Several, in fact. And those of us who tuck pieces of information away for future consideration will recall that at one point, Sheila told Deacon that she had a rich benefactor. We know she didn't mean Bill, because these conversations took place long before that infamous, life-changing night on which Bill and Sheila met on the beach, and his plot to bring her down was formed. So to whom exactly might she have been referring? One rich guy who's been known to spend time with Sheila in the past is Eric. Although it's hard to imagine he would ever go back to that well of crazy, especially seeing as he just married Donna. There's a reason Stephanie always blasted him for being a horny old goat. Might he, on some level, feel sorry for Sheila, maybe even truly believe that she's changed? It wouldn't be the first time Eric cheated on one of his wives. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the quaint suburban neighborhood. As the world outside dimmed, the lights inside the bustling Harper household flickered with a vibrancy of their own. This was a family that never seemed to sleep, always caught up in the whirlwind of drama, passion, and secrets that made up their lives. Among them, Sheila Harper was a figure shrouded in mystery. With her striking green eyes and auburn curls, she carried an air of enigma wherever she went. But tonight, as the clock struck midnight, the whispers that had been circulating the neighborhood for weeks reached a fever pitch. "She's at it again," Mrs. Johnson muttered to her husband, peering through the curtains with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. Indeed, Sheila Harper was on the move once more. Clad in a midnight blue coat that billowed behind her like a cloak of shadows, she slipped out of the front door with the stealth of a cat on the prowl. The streetlights cast eerie halos around her figure as she disappeared into the night. But this time the neighborhood was ready. A group of intrepid souls, led by the indomitable Mrs. Johnson, had been keeping a watchful eye on Sheila's comings and goings. Armed with binoculars, walkie-talkies, and a burning desire for answers, they set out to unravel the mystery once and for all. Their journey took them through the winding streets of the neighborhood, past manicured lawns and neatly trimmed hedges. With each step, the tension grew palpable, a symphony of anticipation playing out beneath the star-studded sky. Finally, their efforts bore fruit as they arrived at a secluded park nestled on the outskirts of town. There, beneath the canopy of ancient oak trees, they found Sheila Harper locked in a clandestine rendezvous with none other than the mayor. Gasps of disbelief rippled through the group as they watched the scene unfold before them. The mayor, a man known for his charm and charisma, was engaged in a heated exchange with Sheila, their voices hushed but their gestures animated. "Unbelievable," whispered Mr. Johnson, his eyes wide with shock. "Who would have thought?" But as the minutes stretched into hours, it became clear that there was more to this encounter than met the eye. The tension between Sheila and the mayor crackled with a raw intensity, hinting at a deeper connection that defied easy explanation. As the night wore on, the group found themselves drawn into the drama unfolding before them. They watched as Sheila and the mayor laughed, argued, and whispered secrets into the darkness, their words lost to the night. And then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the meeting came to an end. Sheila and the mayor parted ways with a lingering glance, their footsteps echoing through the silent park as they disappeared into the night. For the group gathered beneath the trees, it was a moment of revelation unlike any other. They had unraveled the mystery of Sheila's secret rendezvous, but in doing so, they had stumbled upon a truth far more complex and intriguing than they could have ever imagined. As they made their way back home, their minds raced with questions and possibilities. What did Sheila and the mayor have to hide, and what would happen next in this bold and beautiful saga that had captivated their small corner of the world? Only time would tell. But one thing was certain: the night was young, and the secrets of the Harper household were far from being laid to rest. Bold and Beautiful's hope is put on blast, and guess who rides to the rescue? The February 19 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful had Hope behaving altogether sensibly, imploring Dad Deacon to break off his relationship with the woman who shot her mother, her step-grandmother, her stepsister, her step-brother-in-law, and Taylor, murdered Lance Day, remember that? Held Ridge, Nick, and Amber hostage and, oh yeah, committed even more crimes over on the young and the restless. But not all fans saw Hope's heartfelt entreaties sensible, much less altogether sensible. Some cried foul, calling Hope a hypocrite for refusing give a chance to Sheila when she has forgiven and even come this close to getting engaged to Thomas, aka the guy who perved on her for ages, let her believe that baby Beth was dead and drove Emma Barber to her premature death. For one, Olivia cleverly pointed out that Hope's entire speech to Deacon could be flipped around and played back to her about Thomas, if only Beth was old enough to remember his litany of misdeeds. Suffice it to say, Corinne wasn't kidding around. She even suggested that other characters cut off Hope until she dumps the... Oh my Corinne. Such colorful language. We'll just say Thomas and leave it at that. BGSU lady was dying to hear Deacon interrupt Hope, begging him to end his relationship with Sheila by turning the tables and telling his daughter to end her relationship with Thomas. In response, Thope fans pointed out that Sheila's list of crimes comes in volumes. Thomas, while no prize, is a saint by comparison. Your psychotic fave deserves the electric chair. Omidrama tweeted to Sheila fans. Nina couldn't fathom that some viewers are readier to cut Sheila some slack rather than Thomas, even though her history is 30+ years. She ain't wrong. Review Sheila's many, many crimes here. Teal, who may deserve a nomination for Bold and Beautiful head writer, offered up what may be our favorite entry in the debate, a thoughtful reminder that Thomas' psychological issues all started after Sheila shot his mother. The show owes us Thomas-Sheila scenes delving into how she profoundly affected him. For better or worse or much worse, Sheila is about to prove that she's a leopard that just can't change its stripes. Get a load of what's coming up on the show here.